Chapter 4. Smiling Through Sadness. From the outside, it looked like we were doing everything right. Married, kids, a church family. I smiled in photos, waved politely at neighbors, showed up to Sunday service with the right dress and the right Bible in hand. But behind the smile was a sadness so deep, it was hard to name. I didn't know it was depression. Not back then. I just thought I was tired, overwhelmed, maybe even weak. I thought something was wrong with me for not being able to feel joy the way I used to. I figured if I just prayed harder, read more scripture, or pushed through like everyone else, the heaviness would lift. But it didn't. In fact, pretending made it worse. There's a strange loneliness that comes from being surrounded and still feeling invisible. I had people in my life, a husband, children, friends from church, but I felt like a shadow moving through my own story. Present, but not connected. I could be in a room full of people and still feel completely alone. And instead of asking for help, I learned how to perform. I smiled. I nodded. I said, "I'm good." So often it started to feel like truth, even though it wasn't. I was grieving silently, not just the losses of my pregnancies, but the loss of myself. I missed the version of me who used to laugh for no reason. The one who had big dreams and believed she could make them happen. The one who didn't carry shame like a second skin. But I didn't know how to get back to her. I didn't even know where she went. My days were filled with endless doing. Wake up, feed the baby, clean, cook, keep the kids alive. Be a good wife. Be a good Christian. Be a good everything. But no one ever asked how I was actually feeling. And I was too afraid to tell them even if they did. Because in the world I came from, sadness was weakness, and depression was a lack of faith. So, I spiritualized my suffering. I quoted scripture to myself like bandages. God won't give you more than you can bear. Joy comes in the morning. Be anxious for nothing. And while those words were true, I was using them to silence my pain, not to heal it. I didn't understand yet that faith and sadness can coexist. That even the most devoted believer can feel broken. That Jesus wept too. At home, my husband was trying. In his own way. He saw the shift in me but didn't know how to reach me. I didn't make it easy. I had shut down. Emotionally numb, detached. I wasn't angry. I was just empty. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want anything except to feel normal again. But what was normal? I couldn't remember. We stopped talking about real things. Our conversations became logistical. What's for dinner? Who's picking up the kids? Did you pay the bill? The intimacy faded into routine, and routine faded into silence. I missed him, and he was right there. That's a pain no one prepares you for. I blamed myself. Thought I was too much, too broken, too damaged to be loved. So, I tried harder. Cleaned more, cooked more, served more. Thinking maybe if I just did enough, I'd feel enough. But no matter how much I gave, the sadness stayed. I would cry in the shower. That was the only place I could do it without anyone noticing. I'd cry while the water ran, then step out, dry off, and go right back to performing. Right back to smiling through sadness. There were days I'd look at my children and feel both overwhelming love and unbearable guilt. They didn't ask to be born into my brokenness. They didn't deserve a mother who felt so disconnected. I wanted to give them everything, but I had nothing left to give myself. The worst part wasn't the sadness. It was the silence. The silence between me and my husband. The silence between me and my friends. The silence between me and God. I didn't stop believing in him. I just didn't believe he was listening to me anymore. I thought maybe I had disappointed him one too many times. Maybe he was tired of watching me fall apart. But what I couldn't see then was that he was there. In the silence. In the sadness. In the space between who I was and who I was becoming. I thought the smile I wore protected me. But it was really a mask. And masks may fool others. But they never fool God. He saw me, even when I couldn't see myself. And one day, that truth would start to break through the sadness. But not yet. First, I had to fall deeper, before I could rise.